Hi everyone, Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters, and thank you for joining me with the Kitaholic Kits design team layout. So today I'm coming at you with a layout using the fun little bits and bobs that came in the kit this month. So at the moment I'm focusing on the ribbon or the lace that came in the kit, and I'm going to use a little bit of a fringe effect here. So you can see that I've got a branding strip and I've covered one half of the branding strip in double-sided tape, and then I've got my lace and I've got 99% of the lace off the branding strip, and then just one little percent of the lace is in and under the branding strip, and I'm just doing a little tuck motion to sort of bunch up this lace, and I'm going to end up using nearly all of it. If I was super amazingly good at perception, I could have staggered these little tucks perfectly to use every little inch exactly, but I end up with maybe about 1 inch left over, so pretty good. And just as I reach the end of the tape, I just pull a little bit more. I just find it easier not to have too much sticky tape hanging out because, it's just so sticky. And I'm already getting my fingers in it and everything like that. So you can see there just tucking away. I'm tucking all in the same direction because I do like my things to be a little bit neat and conformed. I am absolutely not, measuring that each little section is, there's the same amount of distance between each tuck, but I'm kind of eyeballing it in that way. There are definitely some bigger and some smaller than others, but in general, I'm keeping it fairly even just from my eye. It's not a super slow process. You can see, obviously this is sped up a little bit, but it's pretty easy to do. I'm just about at the end, and you can see how much I've got left over. So I'm going to trim that off the end of the branding strip. And then what I like to do, just for extra sealant and security, I put another piece of double-sided tape on top of all of those tucks, just to really make sure they're going to stay and it's going to be steady, and I will use that as a way to stick this down to the page as well. Now, if you're interested in how I made my mixed media background using the stencil and our Distress Oxide inks from the mixed media kit, make sure you check out my exclusive video that went up on the Kitaholic Kits fan page if you are a Kitaholic Kits subscriber. So you need to be a Kitaholic Kits subscriber to see that exclusive video, and that exclusive video is how I created that crazy messy background using the stencil and our Distress Oxide ink sprays that came in the kit. So you can see I just stuck down I don't think it was 6 by 12. It's a little bit less than 6. It might have been 5 by 12 inch piece of paper. Then my branding strip with my little tucked lace. It just has a really cute effect, that tucked lace. It just sort of gives the divided line on the horizontal line there just a nice little pop of something. Then I'm going to put my doily on top, and then my photo with my matted photo. So I do this in such a hard way. I'm going to use a little split down the center. I really should have just used my scissors. So once I've split that down to about 2 inches, I'm cutting that. No, maybe it's 1 inch. Let me see. Yes, 2 inches. So I'm cutting down the center of this piece of card to about 2 inches, and then straight across on the diagonal there, pop. And then again on the other side. And then that's going to make me a little bunting or a little flag. But I decide when I look at it underneath my photo that it's a bit too pointy. It's a little too extreme for the feel that I'm going for here. I want my feel to be a little bit softer. So I'm just going to cut it a little bit more blunt. And I think that'll have a bit of a nicer look with all of the sort of flowy smooth lines that are happening on this page. So that's going to go under there. I am going to cut it a little bit shorter, but I want to measure there where I want to cut it to. Get out my little guillotine. I love this little machine. Okay, so that's going to go under there like that. Beautiful. And then I'm going to go to town with the amazing floral pieces that came in the Heidi Swap ephemera pack. I loved these the minute I saw them and knew I had to use them all. So, popping these down all around my face. This picture is from about 2014, so I'm looking quite fresh and unchild. It's not a word, but you know exactly what I'm saying. So I'm gonna roughly do something like that with all of the ephemera, and I'm gonna start putting it down. Now you saw the rough idea of what I was going for. It ends up completely different, but in the same vein. So I'm popping up my photo onto the banner. Don't put it upside down, Jess. I don't really want the banner up the other way. But then I'll pop the banner flat onto the page, and I'll also pop the doily flat on the page as well. So I was going to stick the banner to the doily, but then realized that I didn't put the double-sided tape in the correct spot, and the double-sided tape absolutely would end up sticking to the 6x6, the 12x12 background. And knowing my luck, it'll all be in the wrong place. So I thought I'll do the doily first properly, and then I will do my photo. So that's all stuck down, and now I'm going to have a play with all of these bits and pieces. I really wanted to try and get that little saying on. It says, "Bad vibes don't go with my outfit." But in the end, I actually can't make it work. I'm not happy with how it looks on there. So in the end, it gets ditched. Because I want that one. Let's do this. I don't know why I want that one. I just do. I love the little arrow, and so I wanted two colours in that sort of craft, I think. And I love that vellum butterfly. I think he is gorgeous. I fussy cut that larger flower from the cut apart sheet for a different layout, but I didn't end up using it, and I'm actually having a tiny bit of trouble with that flower. It's a little bit too big, so this time I've really stuck it quite deep under the photo, and I found that was a little bit easier to work with. I'm just sticking the vellum pieces on with glue, and the glue's going to dry clear, and that will work perfectly. But you do have to be careful when you add your glue. The vellum sort of rolls and shrivels a little bit with wet, if you're using a wet glue. So you'll see me quite a bit holding my palm on top of the flowers just to flatten those out, because I want them to dry flat and to stick down flat on the page. So that's what I'm doing there. If you don't use a glue that is like super wet like mine is, being a PVA, you won't have that trouble. But if you do, just do what I did and just make sure you flatten them out with your hands. It doesn't take much. They're already good to go. So just popping up a few of the bits and pieces with foam. And then I just really wanted that sun and rainbow on my page. I don't often do pages about myself or only about myself. They often involve the boys or my husband. And I'm really relishing in the fact that I've got a selfie here and I can do it as pink and as girly and as florally as I like. Which is kind of funny because me personally, I'm not a pink and girly floral kind of person. But I think I'm missing that in my scrapbooking life, so I'm taking advantage of it now when I saw those beautiful flowers from the Heidi Swap collection. I actually, in hindsight, didn't love putting all of the florals in the top left and top right hand corners. I think the very first way I did it before I glued it down, I had the top right and the bottom left with the florals, and I wish I had have done that. This looks great. I'm not unhappy about it, but yeah, I think it looked better in the top right and bottom left, but anywho, no big deal. I am going to add in a few little bits and pieces from the sticker sheet because I love this Jen Hatfield sticker sheet and just want to use all of the things. So just a few butterflies and a ladybug and some more love hearts. There's so many love hearts in this sticker sheet, which it makes me very happy because I want to use them all. And I thought I would use some of these tiny word phrases because the pink was a great colour. But when I read them, I didn't know if I could. There was a lot of happy birthday and things like that. None of them really seemed to work for me, so I popped those back away and decided I would focus on my title instead, I think. So, oh no, enamel dots first. I love these enamel dots. I'm a sucker for a good enamel dot, and these ones have a nice little sparkle. So, going to add my title, I think, next. Yes, so my title is done. I've got hashtag me right now. Now, I mentioned in my other video that I really struggle to use hashtags. They're not really me and they're not really what I tend to do. So for this particular layout, I decided to embrace it and to put one on. And I did get 2 of those tiny word stickers on. They do change person. Like, so obviously this layout is called me and the tiny word stickers say you, which I'm not thrilled about, but I'm just going to embrace it and keep going. And that's it. I'm really happy with the way this layout turned out. It is super pretty, super girly. The black and white contrasts so nice with the pink, and that mixed media just pops beautifully out from behind the photos and the clusters and the doily. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you stick around to see my next video coming up really soon.